Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy, Zet, aka MetaZet, because if you met me, you met a Zet. And this is Future Time Now, where we talk and discuss all things NFT and Web3. And that's the same thing, right? Talk, discuss, whatever. We getting into it. We're going to discover some really awesome projects. We're going to look into some really cool things coming up and that have already happened recently. But before we get into it, I am so excited to welcome my esteemed co-host, the man, the myth, the legend. He's a good friend of mine, an ally, someone I trust in this space, and someone who's really knowledgeable, a really good alpha caller, and we're really lucky to have him here. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my partner and co-host on here, Mr. Built in the 80s. What's up, my man?
What up? What up? How's everybody doing today? Appreciate you having me here, Meta. Could not be more excited to be a co-host on this show and to start building and creating content with you. Hopefully bring a little knowledge to the people that are watching us and coming in to view our content that we're putting out. And maybe we can all make a little money along the way, you know?
Heck yeah. Hey man, I'm just mind blown right now, fully doxxed for the show, my man.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? We're going all in, right? Fully doxxed
Hey,
out here. Hey,
that's what it's all about.
giving them that beautiful mug out there. So let's get into it. Before we dive too deep on any projects though, let's go ahead and talk about let's talk about the market really. Let's talk about what's going on with the market and what's going on with the daily volume. So here we have the daily volume pulled up, and we're looking at Alpha Sharks, just so you know what we're using here, what tool. And as you can see, we had this lull here, this bear, if you will, this bear market that we've kind of been going through, and then it's peaked back up over 100 million for a couple days in a row, with it peaking here. And we'll go ahead and get zoomed in on this so we can get a better view of this. But on April 2nd, 173 million is what it looks like it peaked out at. And then here we see it's been kind of dropping down from there, and getting down to about 73 million yesterday. So any thoughts on that?
Oh man, we're still seeing a little bit of increase from the bearish of bears that we were at, going through March. I think we're definitely on a little bit of a downtrend right now. Hopefully, we're just getting a little consolidation between 50 and 100 million per day. If we can stay there, that's really the loyal NFT people just switching hands and really making sure that there's volume going in and out of the market. So it's good to see some steady volume there, but hopefully we get back to those good old days of 150 to 200 million. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some big projects coming up that could suck some liquidity out of the market. So definitely
Yeah.
something to keep an eye out of, keep an eye out on. Taxes, things like that going on. So with that being said, definitely important to stay liquid, keep yourself liquid, and make sure that you're not over invested or anything like that. And speaking of alpha sharks here, that this tool we're using, why don't we go ahead and start with that on our recap for the last week or so on different projects, because I know both yourself and myself, we both minted alpha sharks, and I know, at least speaking for myself, really happy with the tool and the project so far. What about
Oh
yourself?
man, the tool is amazing. You bought a second off of OpenSea as well, correct?
Um, yeah, I did.
Yeah, oh man, I got that second one also. They're gonna have a breeding mechanism coming down the line here in a couple months that you can breed some juniors, and they'll give you boosts to the tokens that are generated. So a good thing to keep an eye out on if you're looking to enter the project and maybe see some good entry points. I think right now I believe it's at point 0.4 floor price. We're
Yeah, it looks
probably
like
looking at a
0.404. You can jump in here just to give people an idea. Buy now price ascending. So looks like 0.404 is where it's sitting right now. And
yep.
it got up to almost, what was it? Was it like point
I-
0.6? It was the high?
Yeah, I think it was point 0.6, 0.65 pre-reveal was was the high that it got up to. That was for some of those sub 1000s that are going to get your boost token generation on there. So those are some pretty good buys, probably.
Jump
I
here.
think point 0.4, me personally, that's probably a good entry point.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can get a
that,
top 1% for 0.64 right now.
oh
And the
man,
great thing about Alpha Shark, boom, we can jump in here. Oh, we don't need to see. I don't got the funds for it. We don't need to see, how broke I am right there anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But there's a lot of really cool aspects to Alpha Shark, such as that sniping tool here. And
yep,
they're constantly, doing updates and upgrades to it and everything. And then of course with NFT Llama's involvement, I mean, bullish, right? Obviously,
bullish.
yeah.
That's an
Um,
OG in the space right there.
yeah, so it has all my faith in the project and my conviction. With that being said, and then just how awesome the tools are once I got in there and saw the functionality, the platform, how well it worked, I just was all in on it. And to correct myself, I didn't buy the second one off a secondary. I actually had I was on pre-sale, and then when they went in the second phase, I was able to get a second one on the second phase. So yeah, I kind of lucked out.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so let's talk about some other projects that just happened, just minted. So what else have you been looking at, or what did you just mint this last week?
So last week, a project I'm really bullish on that I think is a good, probably midterm, maybe long-term hold if you're looking to really build value out of it, is going to be a project called Metacages. I'm really a fan of the artwork. It is 100% animated collection of 3,000. Everyone will be animated. Really good anime. The anime meta is popping off right now since Azuki introduced the beans that they put out. I think once those beans reveal, the meta will probably, for the anime, will probably pop off a little more after that as well, for a little while.
So
But
kind of like
going
similar
into
to Zuki or what?
this is the art style is, I think it's just all going to be animated, and so it's got that side profile picture style. It's got the anime style. They're going to have 1,500 males, 1,500 females, and as you can see, they kind of have the arm, like the bionic arm on them right there. That's invented in a lab, and that's kind of where the animation comes from. But I've seen some of the legendaries got dragons behind them, so it's pretty cool. But they're going to have an app to where you can kind of look at icy tools and different things on an app mobilely that Metacages is going to be a part of. Uh, they're going to have, your whitelist marketplace. There's going to be staking coming up. They're doing a comic book right now in the Discord. You can vote on the 3 different stories or the lore that they're going to be doing for the comic book. So it's really community driven. And what I've seen so far since being in the Discord, and again, I will say I bought this on secondary. I did not mint this. This was a project that I found out a little late. And after I read it, I just had some conviction in it. The team has been very active. So when the community complained that they did a 10% royalty, the team immediately brought that down to 7.5%, admitted their mistake. When they said the community said they wanted the Discord to be open so more people could get in, and that's how we grow, the team immediately did some security measures to make sure, first and foremost, the community in there was safe. And then secondly, they opened the Discord up so we could grow the community a little bit. So the team's been very active and trying to do what the community wants to do with the project. So it's good to see.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Dope. Love to hear all that. It looks like a cool project. So you're bullish on this one, obviously. Holden.
Yep, holding this one. I'll be holding this one after reveal, and we'll see where it takes us. But I think, if anything, it's going to be a great PFP when it reveals.
Right. That's cool. Well, speaking of another project with high conviction that minted out this last week. Well, I shouldn't say minted out, but minted this last week that I definitely had high conviction with is Clementine's Nightmare. I'm a holder of the Genesis collection. And sorry if I'm going fast, but they just released another collection called the Eclipse Collection. Genesis collection was 5,000, included characters like Clementine and Jack Carver and some other characters that I wouldn't be able to necessarily all name the names. Stag, a few others. This new collection has 10,000 characters and I believe 10 different new characters, such as this guy here. Hero looks pretty sweet. Rain, Sasha Knight, Churchill. So as you can see, a bunch of new characters. The art is phenomenal, and the team is really phenomenal as well. And there's a lot about this project that is just all go signs, green signs, all green flags, and would all be indicators that it's going to be one that performs well. But as always with the NFT space, you just never know what to expect, and that wasn't quite the case with the launch. So they had 10,000. They struggled to really do. I don't even know if they hit 1,000 in the public, and I think one of their downfalls was how, with this launch, was how the process was, how they rolled it out with the launch. So for one, really high mint price, and originally they were going to do zero point 0.3 for public, and then 0.2 for pre-sale. And then they heard the outcry from the community. They adjusted, which is great. They've been really great. I'll say that, as far as communicating and being in the Discord and listening and adjusting and pivoting, kind of like you said with Metacages. And they adjusted the price to 0.2 for public and 0.1 for pre-sale, which is still pretty high. A lot of people felt. And then, to me, one thing that didn't make sense is then they did the public first. So they did public before pre-sale. So instead of having all those people with high conviction, such as myself, who are like all in to start with, they took it to public with the high price, and it wasn't received quite well. It didn't really pop off as far as mints, and again, it struggled to get even over 1,000. They then quickly shifted to pre-sale, which they got to close to 2,000, somewhere in that range. I still minted. I have conviction and everything, but so they had some issues there. Shan from Gajira got involved, and they actually minted 333, so they have a small percentage stake in Clem, and so they were also incentivized to go buy it. I think they got like 20% off of mint for this. So there's other things that were incentivizing them to also go in. With all that being said, they still didn't get over 4,000, I believe. They were 40. I think they were like 4,200 this morning. And so I'm still holding a couple. They announced today that they're going to cap it at 5,000 as far as minting, and then everyone who owns one, they're going to give them a free mint, basically 1-to-1, or 1-for-1 rather. So that's kind of the story there. The saga, the drama with Clementines. But I do have conviction. I do believe long term. I mean, I think that's why they're doing that, and giving everyone who's believed in it one. And I do believe in long term that they will pull something off. But it's to be seen, and we'll see how that goes. So I just wanted to quickly touch on that one.
Love to see him looking out for the community. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So after Clementines, I know you were gonna mint one today. That the ones we're talking about now are all pretty recent. You were gonna mint one just today, right? Was Ailoverse?
Oh,
Right.
Yep, it was Ailoverse. I think it is just another example of why you need to make sure that launches go smoothly, and then even more importantly, contracts are audited. We see nowadays a lot of the major NFT influencers that are on Twitter, people who have been in the space for a while, they talk about the importance of auditing your contract before mint date. And I really thought Ailoverse was going to be a good one. I thought that it was going to perform well. It was a very good concept. It had robots and cats. You got two NFTs with the mint. You got to combine them. It was very cool. But when we got to the mint,
spell that? Oh, my bad.
no, it's
A-L.
AIL,
Oh, that's what I
AILO,
was
and
doing.
then verse. Yeah.
Sorry, I haven't been tracking the project like that. Ailoverse cats. That's the first one that pulls up. Let's see how it's doing.
Yep. Yep.
898. Does that sound about right?
Yep. At a point oh 0.07 floor. And so there's also the bots as well that are a little lower than that. They're about a point oh 0.05 floor. And it's a
Gotcha.
0.075 mint for whitelist. So barely break even. Didn't do well. It was a 5,000 collection too. So you can see it hadn't even broke 1K. And to me, this had a lot to do with the problem with the contract. The node they set up didn't work correctly. All the whitelist spots weren't added correctly. The contract wasn't written correctly. So this is just goes to show the importance it is of making sure you audit your contracts, making sure that launch day is set up to go as smoothly as possible. Because we know in the NFT space, FUD spreads like a wildfire, and
Nothing
that
will
is the
take a
last
project.
thing that you want.
Yeah, nothing will take a project out quicker than FUD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy quick. And it did. This morning when it didn't go at 9, everybody kind of gave him a pass, and then the second mint time came up at 12:30, still didn't start, and then it was over from there.
Oh man, I hate to hear it, hate to see it. I know it looked cool. You know, and I'll be honest, I think that with these some of these projects that are really ambitious, that one looked really cool, but I think a lot of people don't quite understand them or get it, or if there's any like little technical pieces to it, it like throws people off. I know that there's been mints in the past that are like on Polygon or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know how to mess with that. You know, or I
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you see it tanking, and you're like, I'm definitely not messing with that. But with this one, you know, with the bots and the cats and the, you know, it, it it sounds really cool conceptually, but sometimes I think some of those kind of innovative things can be people's downfall as well, because maybe it's a little too complicated, or some of these projects people shoot themselves in the foot on the other hand because they don't do the research on the white paper and that sort of thing and
Right.
understand the whole depth of the project, and they don't see that at first, and then later they're like, oh, I paper handed it, now it's this amazing thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is probably another good point to bring up. DYOR, people. Do your own
Yeah,
research.
absolutely. Yeah, and if we haven't said it yet, as always, this is not financial advice, and you know, talk to someone who is an expert,
That's
because
right.
we're just a couple, you know, couple dudes who just love the NFT space, the Web3 space, and love talking about it. So that's what we're doing here. So talking about projects that have recently minted or are minting. Actually, this one just minted. It's one that I was really hype on, really bullish on, and that's Hikari. That one just minted pre-sale today, and here's the website. If we jump over here to OpenSea, we can see that it's sitting, oh man, just under point 0.4. Oh man, because I, you know, had really high expectations, really high hopes. And, you know, that's not terrible, of course, for anyone who minted on pre-sale. It was 0.09. So, you know, even if you got out right here, you know, you're still coming out really nice. Um, let's see, we can go over to Alpha Sharks, of course, and check any kind of volume and that sort of thing. There is still some recent sales, but it's definitely not a ton of volume pumping or anything. But a really cool project, and another one that's actually pretty in depth. They're putting out a game. There's a whole Genu experience where you have a soul, and so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Some of those mechanisms and mechanics that maybe people don't fully understand, and they get into it for the flip, and people start undercutting each other. But you know, some of these projects, you never know, you might see kind of really take off. But this one definitely has a lot of promise, and as you can see here, holders gain access to future collections, airdrops, comics, streetwear, and playable characters. And I gotta say, one of the reasons I'm so hyped and bullish on this project is because I actually was able to get in early because of Squishy Squad. Shout out to Squishy Squad, and get on the mark of initiates or whatever it is for their allow list or wait list, what have you. And then within there, because of some of my experience and past experience and expertise or whatever, they selected me to help work on the comic book. So I actually got Mark of Legend, and I was able to mint 2. So I have 2 right now. So I'm really stoked on that. Just because it's a cool project, and I'm really hype on everything they're doing. It's unique. Now the art, not necessarily my cup of tea. Definitely, I don't necessarily love it compared to some of the anime that's been out, in the anime meta recently. But I think it's really cool what they're doing with the video game and what they're doing with the comic, of course. I might be a little biased there. So I just wanted to cover that. They did have a little bit of an issue at the beginning with bots um, for their public. Public only had 1,800 or so available, and they minted out like within seconds because it was botted out pretty quickly. So so that's Hikari for now, where we're sitting with that one. So yeah, that those are the couple that I've kind of minted. There's a couple more recently. And I hate to say it, one I recently minted that did the best. I paper handed. I let go a little too early, and that's Los Muertos. So we can go ahead and jump in to our little bit about recent rippers. You know, projects that are currently ripping right now. So were you aware of Los Muertos? Is that one you were keeping an eye out at all on?
I was aware of it. I did not have pre-sale on it. Wasn't lucky enough for that, so I didn't keep great dibs on it. But I did watch some volume today on Alpha Sharks and saw that it was moving a little bit.
It's sitting at 0.54. You can see at the top in the last 7 days. Sitting here in the last 7 days, and came out real recently, number 2 in the last 24 hours. So yeah, tons of volume, crazy. It's just been ripping. And so yeah, would you call me a dummy for paper handing that, in the first day?
No,
Yeah.
never a dummy for getting a bag. Never. A bag is a
Yeah.
bag.
And this is a good lesson for people out
Yep.
there, that you just never know, because at the time my thinking is I need to get my liquidity up, because I need to make sure I have liquidity for these upcoming mints. Hikari, Hikari. That's one of them. There's another one out there that's similar that I got coming up, but Hikari, um, Furu's Mint Club, which came up recently. I minted. I could talk a little bit about that one. It's kind of an alpha group mint pass type thing. And then Clementine. So I was like, I really need my liquidity up. And then, as you can see, this Los Muertos outperformed Clementine's by by a mile, and you never would necessarily expect it. Maybe I wouldn't have. I seen a ton of volume coming in at first, and
I'll
so
uh, I'll give you my story of paper handing, and you can pull up the past that everybody's gonna know about. But I was barely into the NFT space. I was buying my alphas. I bought a little thing called a Llama Boost, a silver one, and I bought it for 0.75. It was a great buy. We were probably a month out from the mint at that point. With the Llama Boost, you get a free mint for the Llamaverse. If you look up Llamaverse right now, you'll see the floor price of that. So we get about 2 days from the snapshot being taken, and I get offered 1.75 Ethereum for this. And again, I am 2 to 3 months into NFTs. That's a lot of money. I'm like, man, let me go ahead and get my liquidity. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be okay with this. And now, as you can see, the Llamaverse Genesis floor price is, what does it say, 4.97, and that was a free mint if I would have just held that llama that
oh
llama
my
boost
oh my
silver.
goodness, yeah.
And
All right, you got
the
me
llama
beat.
boost, yeah, and that
You
llama
got me
boost
beat.
silver is also worth 1.79 Ethereum.
Mm,
So combined, we're talking about 7 Ethereum total.
nice,
Uh,
GG. Well,
yeah,
yeah,
we all have
my
lessons learned.
greatest, yeah, Alien Friends is mine so far, but I'll tell that story another day. So, so just getting back to it real quick on some recent rippers. Just want to talk about a couple of things going on that right now, that may be still relevant by the time you catch this video, that are still pumping out there. So Los Muertos, of course, like I mentioned, this right here, if as you can see, Dennis Rodman's Barbershop has been just ripping. I don't know, so much so that they have it on here
Ripping.
twice. Yeah, that's because this one is not real. That's not the legit one right there. So we'll get back here, but that one's definitely been pumping. And uh, the Creepy Club, that's another one that's been pumping too. Were you in that one or aware of that one? Art looks really
No,
dope.
I wasn't in that one. No, did you get into that one yourself?
No, nope,
Man,
nope. So ripping as far as volume, it's at 0.112. I know when I saw it earlier, it was at 0.07 or so. Um, so it's been pumping quite a bit. I don't know what the mint price is or anything. I don't really know much at all about this 5,000 supply. Definitely not telling you to go out and jump in on that one or anything. Just seen it moving. And then of course not Banksy. The echoes, not Banksy. That
no,
also has
Banksy was
been
moving today.
to the point where it had a bunch of derivatives, popping out and stuff. Just like we saw with the recent Frank and that phenomenon or
Yeah.
whatever. So you have those memes that pop off. So those are just some different things that are going on right now. What about lobsters? Wasn't that something that was moving?
It was moving a little bit. It's retraced quite a bit now. I got in about 0.99 is where I got in, and then I sold out at 0.135. Saw the volume slowing up a little bit and saw my exit point there. So you always want to make sure if you get into a project, you got good entry and exit points.
Okay. Okay. 0.135. Let me see. What did you say get into it at?
0.099.
Or 0.099. Okay. And it's sitting at 0.114 now.
Yo,
And you got out
man.
where?
0.135.
Okay. Hey.
135, and that's using alpha sharks. I saw those basically on alpha sharks, and I see those red dots start to slow up, and that's the amount of transactions that are on each one per. If you're seeing those light up like a Christmas tree, the volume's going real good. Once you
Oh
start
yeah,
to see those slow up a
that's a
bit,
good sign there for sure.
might be
Cool.
time to
Okay.
start looking for an exit point.
I know this is by a famous British artist, and so that's the
Yo,
Philip Colbert. I know that's a reason that a lot of people are bullish on this project. So a lot of promise there. Oops, and so we'll see how that one goes. Now, I wanted to get into some upcoming projects that we're excited about. Some projects that are going to be popping off here in the near future that I think are definitely worth keeping an eye out. This is where I like to say keep your eyes peeled. This is the pre-cap because we just went over the recap. This is the WeekCap pre-cap.
free cat.
We're going to talk about
Yeah,
some upcoming projects. Right
like
now,
it.
here's one I'm super bullish on. It's called LO Community or LoFi Originals. I don't know if you can hear that, but as you can see, we're able to listen to some fire lo-fi right off the bat here on the website. They have a really great community, lots of hype behind this project right now, and definitely worth mentioning and keeping an eye out. 96K as far as followers. So just wanted to show you kind of what they have going on, the style. But what's really worth noting about this project is the art itself. It's got this walking meta, but it's shown from a
Fire.
different angle. And I don't know if it's been confirmed if it's going to have music behind it. I don't want to say that it
Been,
is.
it's
Well, they
been
got music.
confirmed. Been confirmed.
Oh my
Low,
man.
lo-fi music behind all of them.
Okay, my bad. I mean,
Yes,
just look at that.
sir.
Just look at that. So
Dope.
super bullish. Like this is my number one pick on something I want to point out. Um, you know,
Yes.
we like to go over projects we have gotten into. We've gotten lucky enough to get on the wait list, the allow list, the pre-sale list, what have you. And we like to go into other projects that are coming up that we think you should definitely take a look at, getting into the allow list, the wait list, the pre-sale list, what have you. So this one right here, like I said, is my number one, one that I want to call out. What would you say is your number one pick that you call out, my man?
Well, one I got coming up this week I want to call out is Soul Splicers. I just think that's a really cool project coming up. I was part of that whole generative dungeon mint. Um, I will say that I sold it 2 hours before that Gary V pump. Sold it at point 0.5 before it went to 2.8. So there's a paper hand example for you there too. But I
That's a
think
good.
Soul Splicers is going to be probably the elevation of it. It is another kind of
Okay.
generative dungeon style play. With this, though, you're going to be earning soul tokens. You can mint abominations, different things like that throughout the game. And these abominations, if they kill other players that are playing on your NFT, you earn their souls and then get the soul tokens. Like it is really in depth. It's not a white paper we can go through in the video that we're doing now because it is so in depth, but it is something to keep your eye on. It's minting this Friday for pre-sale. It is a 10,000 collection on the Genesis, and I think it's going to do really well. I think it's got a lot of potential.
All right, sweet. And as you can see, we're just gonna put a little gameplay here for you to see, just to check out. All right, sweet.
Yeah, it just looks
Yeah.
real cool,
So
like a hack and slash jump, trying to get into different levels. Just it reminds me of the real old school Nintendo,
yep.
almost like Double Dragon, if you remember playing that, my guy.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. That's what got me most excited about this one when I saw that gameplay, because this is not your typical, or at least the historical P2E that you've been seeing here. It's
Right.
definitely kind of the next level up on it, and as far as the evolution, hopefully we'll see. But it just looks sweet, looks fun to play, like you're saying, just kind of that golden era of gameplay. So definitely hype on it, and I should say, that we both, you have a pre-sale list on this, right, as well?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
we both are fortunate to come up on a pre-sale spot list for that one as well. So yeah, that one's minting what, in a day or two, 2 days?
It mints on Friday is when pre-sale starts.
Okay, sweet. Well, keep an eye on this one, because whether you're on the pre-sale list or not, I mean, you might even still have time to get in there. But if not, I think this is one that you probably can get in on secondary at a good entry, and it might take a little while for it to get that momentum, kind of like a generative dungeon,
Yep.
right? So another one that we got coming up that we are both really fortunate on having pre-sale list is
Whew.
Collider Craftwork Cypher.
Show
And
them the fire.
oh man, we're gonna do a whole video on this. We're just gonna quick show you. It's still early enough to get in here and get in on the pre-sale list. That's how we were able to. We don't have any tight connections like that or anything, yet. No, I kid, but we don't got the inside. We went and got these through raffles, or my man was in there since day one, right? New Year's Eve or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I've been in there since like December 28th, December 29th when they first opened it. It's been a long time in there, but this project is going to be huge. Mark my words. Put the stamp of approval on it. Like this is the 10 out of 10 hype. The train's coming through. I
Just
think
look
this
at
one's
that.
going to do really well.
I mean, my computer might be having a hard time keeping up with it right now. The art is insane. We'll go over the details and what you really get with this one, what you're really looking at. A lot of the details are still yet to come out, but it's a super dope project, one to definitely keep your eye on. And still early enough, still early. So that's why I wanted to mention that, go over that with you, because I know you're really bullish on that one. And how can you not be? I am as well. Another one
Yep.
everyone's really bullish on, PXN. Just want to mention PXN as well. Of course, look up PXN. Oh, that's Collider. And PXN's coming up as well here, and that's one that you're going to want to keep an eye out if you can. If you can get in there, the Discord's super hard to get in. The I got in yesterday actually, or the day before, and then got booted out because I guess it was a leak, so I wasn't supposed to be in there. Um,
Man,
you know, but
I'm not in there
but
either. I'm not in there either.
not elite enough, not elite enough. So we won't go into that one too much. Everyone knows about that one for the most part, and we're definitely going to go over that more in the future here as well. But I just wanted to mention it as one to keep an eye out on, as coming up, if you can get in on. So these are kind of ones to keep your eyes peeled for, that you may be able to get in on, still get in on the pre-sale list and everything like that. And if you can, these are ones that are, never say guaranteed to do good, because you never know how something's going to perform in this market and everything. But they're ones that either have a lot of hype, and so they're for sure going to be a good flip, more than likely, or they have some really good potential because of the team or what they're doing with the project itself and everything. And so, one more I wanted to mention, if you can get in there early. Last one we'll go over real quick today. That's coming up is one that I know everyone's real hype on, and that is Possessed. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up here. Possessed is a PFP profile picture project, but a new spin on it. As you can see, it kind of starts out and then pops into a secondary PFP. It's like it's a GIF, uh, animated, but I suppose you can kind of use either um, uh, you know either kind of spin on your character as your PFP.
So
To some
they announced on this it's going to be like Ailoverse, and when you mint, you're going to get three separate NFTs. You're going to get the possessed, you're going to get the regular one, and then you'll get the actual animated that does the whole way through.
Nice. Now they just announced the Discord, and I think that it might have been a leak too. I just got in there yesterday, and I think that they just announced that was a leak. Now I don't know if that was part of their whole mystery and intrigue that they got going on with the story they're telling here.
I think it
But
was.
it's really cool how they're telling this story with the project, and it really captivates the audience. So this one that is still really early, and it's coming out Q2 2022. So it's still early, and this is why I really wanted to mention this, because this is going to be the next. This is going to be the next big project that everyone's going to be looking at, in my opinion. I don't want to say the next Invisible Friends, because of course there's not ever going to be a project that's exactly like another one, but it's going to be a project that is really one to keep an eye out on. Definitely. So get in there if you can. Get into the website, P with 4 S's and a D.xyz. Make sure you're always going to the right ones. Go find them on Twitter. They'll have like over 100,000 followers. I'm not sure right now, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to say thank you for being here, my man, with me. That's why I have you on here, because the deets on these projects, if you will. The inside scoop, such as that with Possessed. The different variations you get. So I think that's really dope. I love how they're doing that. So you get 3 different breakdowns.
Yep.
Can you tell me again what it was?
You get the possessed, you get the regular one. I guess I don't know what they're calling the regular one, the non-possessed, and then you're gonna get your animated NFT to where you
Okay.
see the animation that you see.
I mean, how dope is that? Like, this
Oh, it's
project
amazing.
this project is super fire. This is why I want to make sure to go over this one too today. So that was just kind of some of the projects coming up. That was projects that recently came out, some to keep an eye out on. Definitely some mid to long term holds in there that we mentioned, that you could probably get in and get a really good deal on, a discount. Some of the ones we mentioned earlier, some of them like Ailoverse, maybe not going to make it. But there's
Happy.
definitely ones. I'm
It
not trying to throw
happens.
shade. I'm not fudding. I hope they do. They very well can too. You never know. Projects,
Yeah.
communities come together, and I love it. That's what's cool about this space. So I hope they do. I wish them the best. But some of these projects here at the end, definitely worth keeping an eye out. And we're gonna be doing this all the time. We're gonna be doing this weekly, bringing you guys projects to keep an eye out on, and we're gonna get deeper and deeper into them, doing deeper dives and going more in depth on the roadmaps, on the team, all that kind of stuff. This was just kind of a quick week recap and a pre-cap, as you will, if you will, as we do, just to get you ready for some of the stuff that's coming up. And then we're gonna get rolling on this content, and then really more and more go into some of these projects and discover some new projects that are early for you guys. So please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, give us a follow. We're on the Twitter space and all that stuff too. And we also want to shout out our dude Zerk, NFT Zerk, Elite Alpha group that we're a part of. That's where we get a lot of great information as well. Only 333 holders in the Zerk Pass, and there is really amazing group of people, really tight knit ragtag bunch, as I like to say, a little ragtag tight knit group that we got formed in there, and we really,
just where me and you met.
Yeah, and you know what, just to give him some love and some shout out, like just this week, he's giving away. They're dropping 21 raffles to us holders in the next 3 days. They're dropping 21 raffles. So when I mentioned some of these whitelists, we get some of these pre-sales and waitlists and allow lists, if you will. That's where we're getting some of them for sure. So
doing it big.
This is a Zerk Pass, 37K followers right now, and my man NFT Zerk just hit 75K, just surpassed 75K. Well deserved. And just check out this fire. As you can see, he's dropping 9 tells. That's a raffle we got going in there right now. All kinds of just fire raffles that they're dropping daily. So just wanted to kind of
Dynasty. That's gonna be a good one right there that you just passed. The 88 Dynasty.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, there's fire ones in there all the time. So we just wanted to give him a shout out because the Zerk Pass is a new pass. It just dropped. It just sold out, and so you could still get in there and at a relatively good price. I think it's at 1.2 ETH or so now. So it's definitely worth checking out. But not to shill our own group or but I just wanted to give my man a shout out. Much love, Zerk. So yeah. We wanted to say thank you for joining us. And like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Follow us for future content because we're going to be putting out content weekly. Weekly. We're going to be putting out content, doing deep dives on projects. We're going to be doing how-tos from things on, how to mint straight from contract, how to vet a project, just various things, how to get your valuables over on a hard wallet, on a cold wallet. So things like that, that's going to bring value. And please leave comments. Let us know your thoughts, opinions. We got tough skin. Feedback is always welcome. Give us future things that you would like us to cover. Anything that you want us to cover, any questions you have, we're here. Open doors here. So just want to shout out everyone watching right now. Much love, mad respect. And my man, Mr. Built in the 80s.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me. Thanks for getting into this. We just getting started and we're gonna get rolling on this. Any last words for us today?
Man, I'm excited to be here, excited to build some content. And to everybody out there watching, I'm sure Metazet agrees, from our house to yours. Welcome to the fan.
Yes, that's what's up. Right on. Thanks guys. We'll see you around. Catch you soon.